I wanted to record my reaction of this because I needed this. Okay. I needed this because I have been Team Blake this whole damn time, and it has been crazy seeing all of the hate. Like, I can't find a single person reviewing this lawsuit who isn't a awful hater. And you know what? I've just surrendered to just not knowing anything about this lawsuit without just reading newspaper articles, which is probably for the best. But I needed whatever this is about because I'm pretty sure I already heard like a little bit of this.
Been released of Justin Baldoni's business partner Steve Sarowitz, and in the audio he is heard making threats against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds if they go after Justin Baldoni or his company Wayfair. Quick little backstory here. As you know, Blake Lively was suing Justin Baldoni and his team, and then Justin Baldoni
Hi
in return
Jamie,
filed a
hi
countersuit
Justin, hi
against her for
Steve.
a number of things. Blake Lively filed a motion to dismiss, and the judge agreed that the claims that they had were not valid, and he threw out Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. Well, now what Blake is doing is she's going after Justin Baldoni and his team to cover her legal expenses for fighting their countersuit. Blake wants her legal fees, but she's also going after damages, which is pretty common in a case like this. In order to get damages, however, you have to prove actual malice in the countersuit that was filed. In Blake Lively's most recent filing going after these damages and legal fees, she states,
I want to read this. Before and during the litigation, the Wayfair, oh my god, parties have repeatedly made clear their intent to retaliate against Miss Lively, including by weaponizing the legal system. As Miss Lively alleged in the SAC, that plan was backed by virtually unlimited resources. Wayfair's co-founder, co-chairman, and leading financier is a multi-billionaire Steve Sarowitz, who divulged to a witness at the film's New York premiere on August 6, 2024, that he was prepared to spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Miss Lively and her family. Okay, so they have proof. That was something that we found out like back when this all dropped in the New York Times. So gooped and gagged. Okay. That was not the only time Mr. Sarowitz made such a threat. Later in August 2024, even though the film had turned out very well and Wayfair had made a lot of money on it, Sarowitz confessed to another witness, an individual who was working with Wayfair on an unrelated project, that if Miss Lively or Mr. Reynolds ever crosses the line, ever, then I will go after them, he declared. I will protect the studio. Like Israel protected themselves from Hamas. There were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done, minimum. Not dead, but you're dead to me. So that kind of dead. But dead to a lot of people. And if they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth. So on and so forth. That's not... When people are invoking the country of Israel, when it comes to the justice they want to embark on, not even the most likable people. It's really hard to like really wealthy people, but like, you don't sound like a good person to me. You sound like the person you are equating yourself to a country that has committed genocide and apartheid. Who would be caught dead saying that? It's a great reminder to never sympathize with billionaires. Sometimes I fall into it on accident because I'm like, oh, they're human beings with feeling and reason. This is not something a human being with feeling and reason would say. This is a human being that has lost feeling, has lost common sense. That is a crazy thing to file. That is a crazy thing to file. We are invoking politics everywhere we step, including in crazy lawsuits. I feel like 15 years ago, no one was comparing people to like, I would be the war on Iraq. I would be South Africa. No one has ever said that. What is wrong with people?
that someone else on a different movie set had issues as well with Justin Baldoni. In fact, so many issues that this person requested that Justin Baldoni not be allowed on the set during filming and not be allowed anywhere during promotion of the film. This is a section from that document where she states, Wayfair parties
That's
have repeatedly
crazy.
made clear their intent to retaliate against Miss Lively. Now, this
I
is
can only
her
think of Dan Schneider
showing
right
malice
now.
behind them filing the countersuit. She goes on to say that Steve Sarowitz was quoted as saying he was prepared to spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Miss Lively and her family. Then later in August of 2024, he was quoted and recorded as saying, I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. There were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done, minimum. Now, he obviously did not mean that literally. He goes on to say he doesn't mean literally dead. What he's saying is that they're going to be dead to anyone who matters, that their careers are going to be over and no one will hire them in Hollywood any longer. Now, it's important to note who he's saying this to. So this is the declaration from Claire
Who
Ayub.
are
So
you
Claire
saying this to?
is the person that he was talking to at the time. Claire gave a declaration in Blake Lively's
Who is that?
latest filing to go along with Blake trying to prove that Wayfair and Justin Baldoni were being malicious with filing their countersuit. So despite what other content creators are saying, this has nothing to do with Blake Lively's claims against Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment or Blake Lively's claims that they retaliated against her in August. This is purely for her to try and prove malice and get her damages and her legal fees covered. That's it. This is the legal declaration from Claire Ayub that was included in Blake Lively's filings.
Thank you, Claire.
Now, Blake Lively did not want this released. It is not because she was hiding the tape. The reason she didn't want this released, which was stated right in her filing, is because she didn't want Claire attacked or bullied online like everyone else who has said anything supportive about Blake at all has happened. And of course it happened. Claire has had to turn off all of her comments on her social media accounts because of the hate and the gross comments that she's been getting over coming forward. On the other hand, Justin Baldoni's team wanted this released, and it's very evident as to why. They wanted to know who the person was and what the recording stated in order to be able to defend it.
I'm
If
sorry,
they didn't hear
Claire.
the recording or see who it was, they can't make a defense against it. So in the declaration, Claire states that she had wrote and directed a film called Empire Waste, which Wayfair and Justin Baldoni, etc. had produced. And it says, I had repeated negative interactions with Mr. Baldoni and his associates, including verbal abuse by Mr. Baldoni. I asked Wayfair that Mr. Baldoni not be permitted on set during the majority of production as a result of those experiences. Now you have to remember, this all happened before August of 2024 when Blake Lively was being retaliated against or alleging that she was being retaliated against for It Ends With Us. All of this happened with Claire and Wayfair before this. She goes on to say, Empire Waste was set to be released in the fall of 2024. So in August of that year, as a result of her experiences with Mr. Baldoni and the ongoing press coverage related to Mr. Baldoni and It Ends With Us, I requested that he not be involved in Empire Waste marketing or public relations efforts. Wayfair agreed to my request. So she specifically states, because of her past experiences and how negative it was with Justin Baldoni, and now because of the press around It Ends With Us and how negative it is, she doesn't want him anywhere near her release of her movie. Now here's where that phone call comes in. Claire states that less than a week after Wayfair and her team reached this agreement that Baldoni won't have anything to do with the release of her movie, she's contacted by the assistant to Steve Sarowitz. She says it was to schedule a time for her and Mr. Sarowitz to speak. She states, I feared that Mr. Sarowitz wanted to discuss my recent request relating to Mr. Baldoni. Worried that Mr. Sarowitz might pressure me to abandon the prior agreement that I had reached with Wayfair, I recorded our meeting. So Steve Sarowitz's assistant
I don't know if
reaches
that's
out,
legal.
says, Steve wants a meeting with you.
But
Immediately,
I don't
Claire is
care.
nervous and uncomfortable. She thinks that he's going to try and talk her into having Justin Baldoni be a part of things, and she doesn't know what to say or do. So she records this. Now, a lot of people are trying to say that this is an illegal recording. That is false. Now, some states have two-party permission, one-party permission, etc. I understand all of that, but if you look at the past cases involving two-party consent where this was recorded, It is not illegal. And just to clarify this,
which
the
is
only
a
people
problem
who are
because I live in
claiming that this is
California.
an illegal recording are influencers online. The lawyers involved in this situation, not one of them have come forward to say that this is an illegal recording. And I'm pretty sure you can all imagine if this recording was illegal, that would have been the first thing that Justin Baldoni's team was stating when they did any of their filings about this. So no, it is not illegal, and it has nothing to do with Blake Lively's retaliation claims or her sexual harassment situation with Justin Baldoni. This is strictly to prove malice so that she can get her legal fees covered and also have her damages covered.
Well, this is confusing.
This recording is over 30 minutes long, so I obviously can't play the whole thing for you. You can go check it out online if you want to, but I'm just going to play you 2 clips. And they're the 2 clips that people are talking about most, and the 2 clips are what are going to get Steve Sarowitz possibly in trouble and be able to prove malice for Justin Baldoni's side. The beginning of this recording, you can tell right from the start how nervous Claire is in this phone call. She is nervous laughing. She is saying things and then laughing for no reason. She's completely uncomfortable, and you can tell. And right from the start, all Steve Sarowitz wants to talk about is the drama on It Ends With Us. You can tell right from the beginning. Claire keeps kind of getting him off of that topic and tries to talk about her film, but he manages constantly to bring it back to that. Now, this is one part where he basically says, I'm going to go after
he has
Blake
no friends.
Lively, and he makes the horrible analogy to Israel and Hamas.
I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. There were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done, minimum. And so, not dead, but dead to me. You're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
So that kind of dead, but dead to a lot of people. If they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth their while, because I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected.
That's bad. I think everyone can agree that sounds really bad for Steve. Now, it's interesting to note, once he finishes that end, and Claire's very awkward, like making
can I just
through it, but once he stops.
This can't be normalized. This is so fucked up. This cannot be normalized. This isn't okay. We are living in an anti-woke time, but I need to be woke. Where are the wokes? I'll be woke. That can't be accepted as normal. That cannot be accepted as, it's bad, but like, what are we going to do? That is reprehensible. That is disgusting. That is the nastiest fucking shit and garbage. Actual burnable garbage that needs to be. You can't say that. There needs to be punishment. Of course, hopefully, they'll pay Blake Lively's legal fees. You cannot say that. This makes me so. If I was a Palestinian, I would just feel extremely unsafe and scared. I am a Latino white person in the Bay Area, and they're literally sending fucking army people to Alameda coastline as we speak. I'm scared for different reasons. Oh my God!
Stop saying that part, she completely changes gears. She's like, I'm scrolling here, and she makes it very evident she doesn't want to discuss this. But he, of course, gets into it again and says this.
We'll have to be defensive for years because there'll be stuff coming at us. I will be defensive for years. So if they ever cross the line, ever, then I will go after them.
This is damaging for 2 reasons. One, obviously, because Steve Sarowitz is proving malice and that he's going to go after Blake Lively if she comes for them, which she did. She filed a CRD complaint against them. But 2, this woman that he's speaking to, Claire, also filed complaints against Justin Baldoni for his actions on set before
it's like
anyone
Steve didn't even know
about what was happening on It Ends With Us. There really was no other purpose to this phone call other than Steve Sarowitz talking about the drama with It Ends With Us and making these threats so Claire could hear them. Now, it seems evident that he's
Brian Friedman doesn't charge enough
to make sure that Claire doesn't come forward with her experiences of what she dealt with Justin Baldoni, the negative things she was dealing with on set, and the fact that he was banned from the set when she was filming. This recording is not good, no matter how you look at it. Even if you think it's illegal, even if you think it's her trying to prove retaliation, whatever it is, this does not look good for Steve Sarowitz, nor Justin Baldoni. Audio.
Thank God. Thank God. We knew. The truthers knew. We knew. We knew. The moment that the lawsuit in the New York Times came out, it was like, whoa, 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 this is really, really bad. We just keep getting more proof about how bad it is. Nobody's perfect. Zionism. Being a Zionist isn't fun. It isn't being a good person. It is very difficult to be a good person and to be a Zionist. Because people don't deserve to die just because you want their land or you want to control them. You want to control Blake Lively's tongue after her experiencing just an unsuitable work environment for anybody and having the money and means to defend herself. I wish I had something positive to offer. I was an intern at an indie production company, and my boss was like, neither of these people have clean hands. And I was like, oh my God. He didn't want to say anything more. And that's fine. But this is me. I'm not speaking on behalf of any other previous bosses I've had. I'm speaking on behalf of me because I've read the lawsuits and this shit's rigged. It's rigged. It's been extremely educational in a very negative way. It really is demoralizing. Makes me be scared for my future. And I don't I'm a perfectionist. So why would I want to go into the world and get hurt? If this is the world, this world is going to chew me up and spit me out. Because it is doing it to Blake Lively. Really fucking scary. Okay, well, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this with me. I think we needed to have this moment. I needed this moment. This is what I care about. Justin Baldoni, may you never know peace, because this is bull. It is bullshit. I really like the movie, by the way.